And now we move for the sixth time to the awarding of the Rich Anderson Chamber Volunteer of the Year Award. Rich was the only two-time chairman of the board in the modern era. He was treasurer, served on the executive committee. He was obviously a board member. He was a commodore. He was an admiral. He was a committee chair. In all of those roles, he was truly a dedicated community servant. When he was board chair for those 2 years, he made every committee meeting for 2 years. And those of you that are on one of those committees, you know how many there are, and you know what a commitment that was. He was truly a chamber hero. So each year after Rich's passing, the board chooses a volunteer who has most impacted the Columbus Area Chamber over the past fiscal year. Secondarily, we look at impact outside of that past year, and then other impact on the chamber's goals through service outside of our organization is considered as well. This year, we have 3 finalists. We will recognize all 3 tonight and ask you, as your name is called, to stand and be recognized. First up is Jonathan Rauner. Jonathan works for Columbus Hydraulics. He has chaired the Business, Industry, and Education Committee. He has represented Columbus on trips to recruit people to move to Columbus. He has served on the Dream It, Do It Career Dream Team. He's volunteered for several of the school business partnership projects over this year. And certainly appropriate for our location tonight, he has served on the STEM Advisory Committee and really helped lead that group to provide input to Columbus Public Schools on curriculum and equipment needs for the STEM Academy that is such a focus of this facility. So please help me thank Jonathan Rauner. Up next is Kurt Shevlin of Service Master by Shevlin. Kurt was a key part of the branding stakeholder committee that generated support for the Chamber's community branding project over the past 12 months, and as such is certainly personally responsible for a large portion of what you will see this evening. Judging by the coat, he currently serves as a chamber commodore, or he is a snazzy dresser. One of the two, and perhaps both, is accurate. He is also a chamber board member and has just begun a term as treasurer for the organization in this fiscal year. Kurt Shevlin. And next is Joe Steffensmeyer, Jean Steffi Ford. Joe also served on that branding stakeholder group. He is past chair of the board of directors. He is a chamber commodore as well. He chaired the admirals in this last fiscal year. He also serves on the streetscaping committee, so he's done everything from leading a board meeting to cleaning up the sidewalk. He is concluding a 6-year term on the chamber board of directors. He's also on the campaign cabinet for the Columbus Area United Way, itself no small task. Joe Steffensmeyer. As we announce the winner of this year's award, I'd ask Robin Anderson to come forward to present the award on behalf of her late husband, Rich, who certainly was a friend, a mentor, and an extraordinary individual, and we are very grateful that Robin is willing to come and continue to represent our friend Rich at this event each and every year. The winner of the 2017 Rich Anderson Chamber Volunteer of the Year is Joe Steffensmeyer.
Well, I can definitely say wow. You know, I am very honored and blessed to be up here this evening. You know, I didn't envision myself in this situation. You know, I came here 13 years ago. It's been a great opportunity, and I'm very, very thankful for everything this community has done for me. First of all, though, obviously, the most important thank you I have is to my wife, Shelley. Anybody that does this type of role knows, you know, it takes a lot of time volunteering. I know she probably thought I was a little crazy when I took on the chairman role while building a new store, but she never said that to my face, so I thank you. So appreciate that. So that was very kind of her. Also, I have my parents here this evening, Gene and Peg Stevensmeyer. Knowing that I have 3 kids and they had 10, and my dad did all these type of roles too, I had no excuse. I knew I had to, go out and volunteer because he set such a great example. But Dad and Mom, I'm very, very grateful for the example you set for me. You're great role models, great people, and I think all of us 10 children know, it's very special to grow up in that family. So thank you. And lastly, obviously, this community, it means a lot to me. I guess, when you get into all these roles and you do them and you see what people around you do, it really inspires you, to be part of this community. Not being from here, moving in there, seeing all the people that volunteer and care and try, I guess it moved me, and I really am thankful for that. It really was a great opportunity. I've learned a great deal from the people around me, built a lot of good friendships, and truly was just kind of inspired. So thank you, to Columbus. It's been very special to me. Thank you very much.
Thanks and congratulations again to Jonathan, to Kurt, and to Joe as our finalists for this year's Chamber Volunteer of the Year Award. It is certainly special to many of us because it is named after Rich, and so certainly I hope all 3 of you recognize how highly we value the service that you have provided and provided an example for so many others who do the same. And now we come to the highlight of this evening, where normally I would be introducing a speaker, whether it be a football coach or a senator or whoever it might be. Well, tonight it seemed appropriate that as opposed to that, we share with you the work that our branding committee has done over almost 2 years. So why do this project? I would suggest to you that the numbers don't lie. And there will be, for the foreseeable future, 3 people leaving the workforce for everyone entering it as baby boomers continue to retire. And in that environment, and there are other factors too, but in that environment, we've got to be really good at telling our story and creating a compelling reason for people to choose Columbus over not just other places in Nebraska, but anywhere in the country, because truly, people can live and work anywhere they want to. And the science will tell you, the study will tell you that, in fact, today they do. They choose where to live first and then worry about finding a job, because with skills, with talent, you can find a job and you can work almost anywhere you want. So the quality of the community has become a much bigger factor in those decisions. And more so than any other time in our history as well, image matters. As I said, I've been in Los Angeles for a few days, and I've been soaked in that probably more than I needed to be, because certainly it's all about image. It's all about what you wear, etc. Well, there is some truth to that. Image matters today, and it matters to people who are deciding where to move a company or where to move a family. So why do it now? Well, first of all, those facts are reality, and we need to get more than our fair share of the available talent for us to be successful. That's certainly number one. But the other reason, I think, to do it now is there has never been, I would submit to you quite literally, never been a better time to tell the story of Columbus, Nebraska than right now. You look at what the Drive for Five has done, bringing people with talent to Columbus over the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You look at what we have done in the other strategic priorities that Bill and Steve mentioned. And certainly, we're sitting in one of the quality of life centers. We're sitting in a facility that includes a STEM academy where the Columbus Public Schools have really made a focus out of the kind of next generation skills in that STEM academy that will attract people to come here, and they will attract jobs, they will create great lifestyles for people. It's been extraordinary. Just look to the west, look to the south at what has happened on just this piece of ground since the Columbus Community Hospital made the move down the street. It is an extraordinary time in Columbus. We're in the middle of a decade of unprecedented investment in our community. So what better time than now to tell that story? So, in keeping with that theme of sharing our story, we've asked a few to share their story about Columbus tonight. And the first is one of those who gets to call this his new school home, at least for another month or so. Columbus High senior Luke Bogus will share his story. So we'd like to invite Luke to the microphone, and he'll share his story of Columbus. Luke?
Develop a passion for learning, because if we do, we will never cease to grow. This quote by Anthony D'Angelo has effectively captured my mindset while here at Columbus High School. And this mindset honestly was inspired by the community of Columbus. This community, it has a passion for learning, and this community is passionate to educating the next generation of leaders. And if you don't believe me, look where you're sitting right now. You're sitting in a $50 million state-of-the-art brand new Columbus High School, a facility that is dedicated to pushing towards excellence in academics, athletics, the arts, and in life. And it's not just Columbus Public Schools. We have a wonderful private school system, Lakeview Community Schools, Emmanuel Lutheran, Columbus Christian, a post-secondary opportunity, and Central Community College. And every single one of those institutions is just as dedicated to educating and towards the pursuit of excellence for every student that walks in the front door. But I'm probably a little biased since I am a Discover. But being a Discover has honestly taught me how much, yes, what you do in the classroom is important, but what you do outside the classroom is just as important. Being involved in extracurricular activities, and I am beyond blessed to have been very involved in, and I'll give you a few. Class officer team, indoor percussion, marching band, Future Business Leaders of America, National Honor Society, Student Council, CHS 101 mentor team. That's just to name a few. But that's to prove that there are so many opportunities here at Columbus High School and in any school system to get involved. And there are so many organizations that appeal to a wide array of students that have different interests and passions and hobbies and knowledge. And being involved teaches kids traits that they didn't know they possessed, and it's taught me things that I didn't know I possessed, such as effective leadership, team mindset, being positive every second of every day. And these traits apply directly to the real world that is here in Columbus, Nebraska. See, you don't have to go to Omaha to experience the real world. You don't have to go to Lincoln. You don't have to go to Kansas City. The real world is here in Columbus, Nebraska. There are real jobs with real opportunities to make real differences right here in Columbus. And I'll tell you something else that's real, is that this community branding project, I had the opportunity to be at the meeting where they announced this project to the board, Miss Amanda Plachek and her creative team, and with goosebumps going down my arms, I just realized how strong of a brand this really is, and I'm really excited for you guys to see us later. But it's such a strong brand that it can represent a town of 100,000 people, or even 1 million people, but it's not. It's representing a town of 25,000. A strong brand that is representing a strong community with strong people. A community that is strong to live in, to work, to raise a family, and most of all, a strong community that will never cease to grow. Thank you.
All right, show of hands. Who's going to be his campaign manager when he runs for office? 1, we get 2, 3. There we go. Luke, thank you very much. Not very many years ago now, 7, 8 years ago, it would have been Jim Helbush who was in those shoes as a senior in high school. So we would like to next have Jim share his perspective as a Columbus kid as well, and we'll have him tell his Columbus story. Please welcome Jim Helbush.
Wow. Are we in good hands or what? Really? Maybe we need to get a rope and tie it around his waist so he can't get away, or at least he has to come back. Good job. I'm proud to be a part of a unique community like Columbus is. I was born and raised here, growing up on a farm, which provided me with a diverse blend of experience and a solid support group of church, family, friends, and community. My great-great-grandfather was one of the founding fathers of the city of Columbus. My grandparents and my parents through the Columbus school system. I attended both parochial school and Columbus High School, graduating from Columbus High School with the excellent background which allowed me to graduate from the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. I'm one of many Columbus citizens that pursued my dreams in this community. My background is in agriculture. I was able to use that background and extend it to manufacturing equipment for agriculture. In the beginning, we had no employees. But as we grew, we hired people that also had benefited from the same good education in our cities and in our school systems that I had. Businesses don't grow and prosper without quality employees. We have prospered with the help of those quality people in our company. It's a real pleasure to be a part of a city that's made up of great citizens and that also embrace growth and change. We have benefited from that growth in our business. We have seen skills refined and expanded in our school systems as well as Central Community College. With the new STEM Academy, we expect to see more skill growth in students from the opportunity to learn skills used in our local businesses. Careers are found by using the tools of an independent educational setting and learning what paths to pursue. The Midwest can boast of the highest work ethic in the country, and Columbus can be extremely proud to be a part of that work ethic. As business has changed and the need for higher skill levels increases, and as more machinery is added to produce more products, workers can get the new educational skills needed at a Columbus Community College and at Columbus High School. That will prepare them to move into those local jobs and bring those technical skills with them. Connie and I are really proud that our two sons, Penn and Dave, have benefited from our Columbus school system, which prepared them to graduate from University of Nebraska in Lincoln. And we are extra proud that they chose and they decided to come back home to Columbus to not only join and help grow dual lift manufacturing, but be a contributing factor in our community as well. An added benefit to living in Columbus is the opportunity to get involved. That's very, very evident. Effect change, help growth, be a part of the solution when problems arise that must be solved, work together as a community. And sometimes we don't always agree, but work goes towards a solution that's acceptable to the entire community. Columbus citizens are focused and are workers. We believe in working towards goals for ourselves, our families, our church, and our community. This is a place where you can pursue your independent American dream. I'm proud to call Columbus my home. I am very proud to share this evening and celebrate with you in our newest example of growth and achievement in Columbus community, this high school. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim. And now we get down to it. I will invite forward Amanda Polachek, who is our marketing director at the Chamber of Commerce. She'll tell you about the process. She'll tell you about what has led us to where we are. And certainly no one probably finds themselves in quite the situation Amanda does tonight, looking forward to having the launch behind her, but then knowing that the real work is just beginning. So we will have Amanda share a little of process and lead us to the unveiling of the final product. Amanda Polachek.
Thank you. I just wanted to kind of frame the process, and then we will get to the big reveal. Thank you, both Jim and Luke. I'm so nervous. I'm sorry. I've been talking to them all month. But those are the stories I want to share, are the stories of people that we want to keep in our community, that have raised their families here, that are going to go run for president. I will be your campaign manager, please. Yes. So those are the kind of stories we want to tell with this campaign. So this story starts April 2015. We were at a chamber planning session, as many of you maybe have attended or seen, and we had a speaker come from the Omaha Chamber. So if you're familiar with the We Don't Coast brand, they came and showed us this presentation, and a spark kind of started to form where we thought, what's our story? What's our image? And then, as Casey pointed out too, we have an enormous need for more people in this community. My husband and I came to this community just 4 years ago ourselves and have been embraced and been able to volunteer with the chamber, and now I weaseled my way into a job here, and that's been amazing. So the story really started with that day, that moment. So we, as we do at the chamber, we assembled a team of volunteers, amazing volunteers that went with us on a couple road trips. We went to Omaha and picked their brains, and they were super helpful. We also went to Lincoln. So that kind of was what the summer of April 2015, or summer of 2015, was gathering information, and they had two different approaches to the process. We kind of followed the collaborative process because we knew in Columbus, Nebraska, there's no advertising agency that we could just call and have this process done. So we do what we do best here in Columbus, which is collaborate. So we assembled a team of volunteers to work on coming up with the idea for the process, which we had not been done before. How would this even start? We don't have any money. We don't have any designers. So we kind of put out some calls. The first people I want to thank is Dee Hansen, my co-chair. She and I, we both had a baby each during this process, I would point out. So we've helped grow the community in our own ways. So, and then also we did a research phase. So I want to thank Beth Prismus and Gwen Stander and Erica Leffler from the college. They were amazing helps to us. And then I have some numbers for you. We surveyed 1,000. We did paper surveys, online surveys, about 1,000 households. We had about 50 qualitative surveys, which meet focus groups. We had people, thank you to all you who participated, that came into the chamber and told us why they loved Columbus, their kind of pride in Columbus story. And then I assembled a creative team, which I'll introduce you to very soon. I estimate they have 96 years of combined experience. We won't tell you who has the most and who has the least, but we have an amazingly talented team. Again, this was a deliberate decision to use local talent, local designers. It took way longer than just hiring someone, but it was so worth it. They are all freelance designers. They do this in nighttime hours. They do it part of their jobs, and that was a really fun process. And the last one, I paid them mostly in pizza. So we had a lot of meetings. We ate a lot of pizza. I sent a lot of emails and bothered them a lot. And we probably went through, I would say, about 100 concepts. And those 5 meetings were, 3-4 hour meetings. So I just kind of want to paint the picture of the work that these folks have put into this process. So what did we learn from this? Primarily, we learned that people come for the jobs and they stay for the people. Kind of like Casey said, this is a place where it's not about consumption. It's about longevity. And the people that come to Columbus and put down roots, they put down roots hard, and they love this place. So that's kind of the pride we're wanting to point out for you today in this brand. So I want to quick thank the stakeholders that have been involved with this process, because this process would not have happened without some money. Starting tomorrow, we're starting to spend all of the money, your hard-earned money, on buying media, buying advertising to get this word out, because our real goal is to get more people to the community. So we are putting your dollars to good work. So I also want to thank Kurt and Joe, our 2 nominees that I nominated, because they were knocking on doors, asking people to support this process before we even knew what it would become. So I think that also shows the heart of Columbus, that people signed up to sponsor before they even quite knew what we were coming up with. So first, I want to recognize the sponsor level. If your name is on the screen, would you just quick stand and we can clap for you? So if you're a member of one of these companies, please stand. The next level is the sponsor level. And if your logo is on this screen, Columbus Physical Therapy, Columbus United Federal Credit Union, Cornerstone Bank, Jean Steffi Ford, Home Real Estate, Renee Mueller, Hy-Vee, Northwestern Mutual, Pinnacle Bank, and Schumacher Schmeckel, Brockhouse and Hurley. Please make your way to the stage. We'll just take a quick photo. Please, please, please come to the stage. We have a gift for you. We have a gift for you. I will bribe you. And then the partner levels, please come to the stage as well. Balin Manufacturing, Bush Equipment Company, Century 21, Columbus Community Hospital, Columbus Area Future Fund, First National Bank, and Marley's Electric. And what we're giving these folks is top secret at the moment. Until about 2 minutes from now, it will be public information. But it's a banner showing their support of the project, and then a very beautiful metal creation that Dual Lift had made for them. So they'll get to show you those in a little bit. So as you are grabbing your items, you can just go ahead and return to your seats, and we are immensely thankful for your support. I'd also like to thank Leadership Columbus 2014-2015 and Simply Loved Photography, who provided a lot of the video footage that you will see here soon. That provided us a huge jump start on this project. It's some wonderful drone footage that really takes you inside and above Columbus. And finally, Brian, can I get some music, please? I would like to recognize my real rock stars, these folks in the front row, the creative team. Wait for the music. So worth it. Again, please hire these people. They do freelance design work, and they're amazing. So we have a photographer, three graphic designers, 2 copywriters, a website designer, and again, these people all just donated their time. We paid them a small stipend and then lots of pizza. So thank you for that. All right, I'm not going to sing, so just come on up. We have no music. Can I get some applause? Woo! Sarah Keeler, Taylor Kumpf, Yara Ramos, Tammy Fagan, Cassie Reef, Chase Gronenthal, Dave Harrington, and Scott Messersmith. Woo! Yes! Music! Better late than never, right? Yes! That was awesome. Okay. Yara, if you can stay on stage. Everyone else, you may be seated after that amazing performance. And Yara and Taylor are going to join me on stage, and then we're going to get to the big reveal. So Yara is one of my designers. She is from Cuba, and she has started her own business here, and I think she's another one of the kind of stories we want to tell of someone who's moved to Columbus and started their own business, and I would just like you to hear from her. So thank you, Yara.
Good evening. I arrived to the country, to Columbus, around 4 years ago with my daughter, and it was definitely overwhelming. It was everything was different, the culture, the language, even the weather was different. And as most immigrants, we came here in the hope of finding a better life for our family. My biggest concern at that time, of course, was my daughter's education and how she could experience the change. But we received all the guidance from different organizations in the community, like the Head Start and also the elementary school. And the whole process was very smooth for her, and I am very pleased to say that she is having great results at school today, thanks to the effort at her school and all the organizations that are involved with the education for the children here in town. As soon as we moved to Columbus, I got a good job at Cargill. I could work after that in my first work as a designer in the Columbus Telegram. And now I'm working for Mastercare Patient Equipment, where I can express and continue developing my true passion, that is to being a graphic designer. After I graduated as a graphic designer and industrial designer in the University of Havana, Cuba. I have been working as a designer over 10 years. And I saw an opportunity here to create my graphic design business. This is a great growing community with a lot of well-established companies and new business. And I knew it could be a great step for me, but I needed some help creating the business. I didn't have any knowledge on how to build a business, and especially not in the country where the laws are different, the rules, everything's different. And I especially needed to work on my English skills. And so I created Havana Stone for graphic and web design services around 2 years ago. Since I started my business, I have received help from different organizations in town, like CCC, the Chamber of Commerce, the Entrepreneurship Center, also the Platte Valley Literacy. They all have been very, very important in the growing and the development of my company and myself. They have helped with mentoring, classes, business networking, and even encouragement. It is hard to find enough words to explain how much it represents to me to be able to fulfill the dream of a better life for me and my family, thanks to the tools this community is providing for us from the very beginning in education, business, and personal growth. And I am very, very proud to be part and to contribute to this welcoming community that creates an environment of social, professional, and economical growing and integration. Every time someone asks what is keeping me here, what makes me stay here, what can be better than living in a beach in the Caribbean, I just say, this community and its people. Thank you.
Thank you, Iara. All right, Taylor. This is Taylor Kump, and she is on our team as well, and she works for an advertising agency in Omaha, but is a Columbus girl at heart, so she has been instrumental to this project, and she's going to take it away.
So yes, as Amanda said, I was a member of the 8-person creative team. I participated as a copywriter, and I'm very excited to be the person that gets to reveal the community brand to you this evening. So like Amanda said, as someone who actually works at a brand agency in Omaha, one thing that I've learned is there's often a lot of confusion around the word brand. So what is brand anyway? Well, it's so much more than a logo or even a tagline, and that's really, really important to remember. Brand is really a feeling. It's the emotional response you have when you think of brands like Disney or Target or Apple. You immediately love them, hate them, think quality, think childhood, think affordability, whatever it may be for you. That feeling that you get when you look at a brand or, see an advertisement, that is really what brand is all about. So with that in mind, the brand we created for our community is really meant to embody the feeling we have when we think of Columbus. As soon as we began absorbing the research and extracting key themes, several fundamental truths about our community immediately rose to the top. And we created the brand to embody those truths and to evoke an emotional response. The truth that Columbus is just right in so many ways. It's not too big and not too small, making it an excellent place to buy your first home and raise a family while still having access to dedicated teachers and knowledgeable medical professionals. It's a great place to launch your career or take your job in a new direction. From small family-owned businesses to large international corporations and everything in between, our people feed, house, save, and improve. Here you can get involved. You can really make a difference, whether it's through volunteering, coaching, mentoring, or fiscal contribution. This is a community that gives. Columbus is truly a place where the good life still exists. So without further ado, please help me in welcoming the Columbus High Drumline to the stage. And now that you're all awake again, can I get a drum roll, please? Thank you to the Columbus High Drumline. So the creative team and I are really, really proud of this brand, and we hope that you connect with it too. As you go forth and share this new brand in the community, we ask you to remember that brand is a feeling. Most importantly, we encourage you to really make this brand your own. Adapt it to your business or organizational needs. Experience, do, create, and establish, but above all, live something good. Thank you so much, and now I'll turn things back over to Chairman of the Board, Steve Line.
Well, thank you. Well, my Something Good story started almost 20 years ago, in the summer of 1998, when I came to Columbus looking for a job. And the reason I stayed was ultimately how I was accepted, how I was treated, and the amount of inclusion that this community presented to me. I was treated as one of your own immediately. I'm not from here, didn't go to high school here. My name is not from Columbus, but none of that ever seemed to matter. The way the medical community, the local physicians, and the general community in general basically treated me is what kept me here. In that time, in almost 20 years, we've grown our company, we've recruited people from the outside, and many of those came as individuals, got married here, and have started their own families. So they've created the growth that we're looking for. One quick story. My first day on the job in 1998, I come to town and I had to get a professional photo done So I went down to this place called Gox Photography. It was downtown at that time. And went in there and met this gentleman. He was extremely friendly, asked me a lot of questions about myself, what I was doing there. And I'm like, well, I just moved to town. And by the end of the session, this gentleman, we'll just refer to him as Tom to keep it simple, shook my hand, said, I want to be the first to welcome you to Columbus. We're glad you're here. Those words were a big impact on me staying. I've lived in a lot of places, and I promise you there is no place like this town. We definitely have something good going here. I've built a business here. I've raised my family here. I've made a great life here. I have found something good here in Columbus. Thank you.
There is no such thing as a free lunch. And even though you paid to be here tonight, most of you, there's still no such thing as a free lunch, because now it is time for all of you to go to work, to become brand ambassadors. Because we know, as Taylor said, the brand isn't a slogan. It isn't something good Columbus. It's what we do with it. And that work starts right now. And you have to be part of doing that work. So what do you do about that? We hope you will visit somethinggoodcolumbus.com. You can download the brand assets, so the logo and the materials and the design and all of that, so that you can use it in your business, in your organization, with your family, whatever it is, whatever network you have to use. We want you to go to the website, get those assets, and go to work. We have physical assets for you on your way out tonight. You will find on your way out of the auditorium, we've got some items for you, some branded items that we'd like you to take. Take as many as you are willing to use yourself or share with someone who needs to hear the story of what's happening in Columbus. Maybe it's a t-shirt, a sticker. We have branded popcorn to share with the office. Whatever it is, take as much as you will put to work as you exit the auditorium tonight and see the chamber staff at those tables. You're going to find a Something Good display out back on your way out. We'd love for you to take a picture that we can then post on social media, that you can post on social media and become part of this team. Because make no mistake about it, it will not work if this is a chamber brand. This must be a community brand for it to be successful. And it truly is that. Just as Taylor said, it is what you think of, what you feel when you think of Columbus. And I believe that the creative team has done an extraordinary job of capturing just that in Something Good Columbus. As I shared with you starting out tonight, I have that example from the last few days of a stark contrast between what you experience in Los Angeles, California, and what you experience in Columbus, Nebraska. The other corollary to that I would share comes from Jeff Kutash, who is the director of the Kiewit Foundation in Omaha. He moved from San Francisco to Nebraska. And he said it this way, which I think directly relates to what we're talking about tonight. He said, when I was in San Francisco, all people talked about was the weather and the geography. In Nebraska, they talk about the people. And that's better. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the people. You want to know what's something good about Columbus? It's Luke. And it's Jonathan and Kurt and Joe. And it's that creative team. And it's each and every one of you and us who do what we do every day, and we create, not consume. And everyone else needs to hear that story. And they need to be inspired to join us in creating the story, because it is important work we're doing here, folks. It is truly the future of this place, this region, not just the city limits, but the region that we support. That's what we're about here. This is as important a work as the chamber and this community will do together in a very long time. And we hope that you will take those tools and walk out of here and go to work making that happen right alongside all of us. As of 15 minutes ago, there was another version of this video that was produced by Simply Love Photography that's been posted on social media. We hope you'll share that in your circles and spread that message in that way as well. And we hope you might stick around a little tonight and socialize with each other and share your story of something good in Columbus and inspire those sitting next to you, those that you know and those that you don't, to go out and become brand ambassadors, because it is the only way we're going to be successful. So, a few thank yous to end the evening. First, to Robin Anderson for joining us tonight to represent Rich. To Joe and John and Kurt for your support, your effort, your work on our behalf over the last 12 months. Congratulations to you. Thank you to Bill Flint and Steve Line. This was really Steve's party, and we very much appreciate the investment that he made in making this a success, along with Amanda and the rest of the chamber staff that planned and executed tonight. Thanks to the branding stakeholders, all of you here. As Amanda said, it's an extraordinary leap of faith for you all to support something a year ago, or maybe more in some cases, on nothing more than trusting that we were going to do something good. And there you go. We did something good, literally. We very much appreciate the support and the trust that you showed. Obviously, the creative team, you guys are rock stars. And what you did here took the research that team did and transformed it into reality. We have these pieces that the branding stakeholders got tonight as one of their thank yous. It was designed and built by Ben and Abby with Dual Lift and Bush. And we know you did it out there yourself. Cut them yourself, Abby. We know you did. But what a great example, again, of using local resources, using the talent that's available here at, in this case, Dual Lift and Bush, to create something that's really, truly special. So thank you both for what you did there. These are extraordinary times, folks. These are extraordinary times in Columbus, Nebraska. And we have a whole lot to celebrate. And we have a great story to tell. We just got to go tell it. And we are truly hopeful that this brand gives all of you and us a platform to tell that story effectively going forward. Because there's something good here. And other people deserve to hear about it. With that, we thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you're inspired. We hope you loved what you saw and that you're going to go to work. And we hope that you'll stop and get a little something to do that on your way out. And with that, as you go out to become brand ambassadors, we'll invite the drum line back to play us out tonight.